time that the sun turns to gold all around. That's the golden time of day. At the end of the day, when the wind is soft and warm, ooh, Lord, it makes the flowers sway. When the sun settles down
Immortal. Yeah. Came out the portal, immortal into a human body. I've been existing way before the earth had Anunnakis. Intergalactical battles, intergalactical travels, infinitely going through stars. The universe will unravel all of its secrets. Peep it, I'm starting to leak it. Time for truth is coming 100, it's time to seek it. Expanding my perception through the spectrum of light. I'm going in with spectrum and the shit's out of sight. We indigo children, yeah, we building frequencies through the ceiling. Penetrating through reality, a marvelous feeling. Regardless, we're healing these humans that be claiming we demonic. The resonance goes over their heads, we super cosmic. Your logic is ignorance mixed with fear in your thinking. My pineal gland is flooded, son, that shit don't be blinking. Sinking into your subconscious like a song with no words. The way I come up with these symbols of letters is absurd. Hey yo, my rhymes are like angelic beings. The shit is freeing, so pure that if you were born blind, I'll have you seeing. Breathing in a multi-dimensional light so captivating. Double helix is nonsense, so what I'm activating, feel the power from within, seeping right through my skin. From the earth into my feet as it goes up to my chin. It got me grinning, rotation like spirals, my music spinning. I told you that I don't be playing, still I'm always winning. Fibonacci to the haters, curve them right to the side. They don't understand the energy, it comes from inside. So inside is what I master, used to be a disaster. Now I'm gladly elevating to a whole new chapter. Yeah, I'm giving birth to a whole new style. I incarnated through New York, yeah, I rep Long Island. Don't get it twisted though, I'm truly repping this earth. I came to free all these humans and show you all what you're worth. Immortal. Yeah, raising your frequencies one soul at a time. As I pass this mic to my boy Spectrum, yo Spectrum, light that up, kid.
They tried to tell me I'm mortal, I told them I was immortal. They asked me what makes me different, I asked them what makes you normal. I just followed my morals and I unfollowed the formal. Hopped on a track with crews, now we straight cruising through portals. I download the Metatron, I'm reversing it till I'm dead and gone. If you think I'm dope, then you said it wrong. Not trying to flex, but I'm hella strong. Mine did things you never seen. When I say mine, you know what I mean. I'm the most when I'm in my mode, and y'all average is like the mean. I really didn't mean to go intervene. I'm the middleman, chilling in between. You should do the math, we ain't keeping score. But I just hit a 3.14. I cook it up, make it look easy as pie. I'm moving in silence and seeing the sign. I am the G, if you remove me, all you gon' see is your sins. This is a big game of sins, the simulation is breaking again. I'm taking control, creating my soul, and if the truth fits, I'm breaking it in. Breaking it. All I really know is that I'll never know. I've been here for forever, don't know when to go. I think that indicates that I'm an indigo. In that case, I'm in the go. Green light, my heart, chakra booming. Solar plexus, Lexus zooming. You assuming that I'm human. I'm just being what you doing. I've been teaching teachers frequently. It's apparent I'm a parent when it comes to raising frequencies. The way I'm living life, I haven't rest in peace recently. Immortal with my technique, but my ego dying easily. Death is teasing me by leaving me with DMT. Now it seems to me that everything I see is seeing me. Life is just an infinite circle with a twist. I used to wanna be like them, now they do not exist.
Immortal.
Greetings, Ken. Great dawning. Welcome and thank you for showing up to the session. We appreciate you joining us on these amazing Silio dawnings. I'm Akil Sharif, the white crystal mirror, and I dedicate in order to reflect, universalizing order. I seal the matrix of endlessness with the crystal tone of cooperation, and I am guided by the power of heart. Ashe, and Asheo. So I'm going to give y'all some basics on this here session today. Some of the basics about our cycles, the calendars we follow. And I'm joined by Ambrosia, the Fifth Force Oracle, who gives us an amazing breakdown of the Destiny Oracle. And of course, High Priestess Makaru Amen is going to break down that yellow spectral seed. She's going to tell us what that's all about, how we can use the knowledge, use the wisdom from that to create our reality, create our experience. And the question that's being asked today is, how aware are you of time? How aware are you of time? Time is the evolution of consciousness. That's going to be very interesting. And this is the prayer of the 7 galactic directions. I'm going to play the recording for this. And as soon as it's over, I'll be back to continue the session.
From the east, house of light, may wisdom dawn in us, so we may see all things in clarity. From the north, house of night, may wisdom ripen in us, so we may see all from within. From the west, house of transformation, may wisdom be transformed into right action, so we may do what must be done. From the south, house of the eternal sun, may right action reap the harvest, so we may enjoy the fruits of planetary being. From above, house of heaven, where star people and ancestors gather, may their blessings come to us now. From below, house of earth, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war. From the center, galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything be known as the light of mutual love. Ayum, Hunabku, Evam Maya, E Maho. Ayum, Hunab Ku, Evam Maya, E Maho. Ayum, Hunab Ku, Evam Maya, E Maho.
Right. That prayer of the seven galactic directions is how we put the session in vibrational alignment. So gratitude for that. Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. And we are mimic melanated immortals making evolutionary changes. And this is our mission statement. And it is to shift the global consciousness of the melanin dominant population and establish an everlasting legacy of high frequency beings, immortal health, and immortal wealth through the application and remembrance of cosmic knowledge. We're going to read it 2 times so that we can imprint it in our hearts and in our minds. Our mission is to shift the global consciousness of the melanin dominant population and establish an everlasting legacy of high frequency beings, immortal health, and immortal wealth through the application and remembrance of cosmic knowledge. Our mission to shift the global consciousness of the melanin dominant population and establish an everlasting legacy of high frequency beings, immortal health, and immortal wealth through the application and remembrance of cosmic knowledge. Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. So every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we hold the melanin frequency vigil, which is a frequency that's been transmitted since the fall equinox of 2019. And in it are 52 frequency waves that raise the consciousness of the melanin dominant population and address social issues that need to be addressed. And this year is the year of divine unity, where we embody our natural love frequency, living as one in divine unity on earth. We embody our natural love frequency, living as one in divine unity on earth. We embody our natural love frequency, living as one in divine unity on earth. And with this theme for the year, the solar cycle, we're doing the 52 acts of unity to go along with those 52 frequency waves. And it's powerful, to say the least. It's very powerful. If you have not been on these sessions, you want to check it out. And of course, if you have been joining us, you want to continue doing so. Again, that's 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And to find out more information about it, you can go to melaninfrequency.org. And this is our Zolkin calendar, which is a 260 spin spiritual calendar. And with it, we have the opportunity to access the divine qualities within us. This calendar supports us in that. And it consists of 13 tones, which is the sacred sound of geometry. And this is a vibration that moves consciousness. And we have the 20 archetypes, which are those glyphs you see on the left side of the calendar there. And those are the 20 archetypes, the dynamic frequencies of light frequencies that contain higher consciousness. When we bring the 13 tones and the 20 archetypes together, you get 260 expressions of the creator. We are these expressions. This calendar is a tool that helps us to access that. helps us to put our affairs in orders, or to take this energy and consciously create our experience with it. And 52 out of the 260 kin here that you see here are galactic activation portals. And these galactic activation portals are, they're amplified energy, or I say it assists in amplifying those shifts, that energy that creates that, being from one stage to the next higher stage. And this calendar is in alignment with the gestation period, which is going from conception to incarnation. When we incarnate, we come in on one of these kin, and that kin is going to be your particular archetype. That's the dominant expression that you have. And whenever we go through this whole calendar and you come back around on that, you have a galactic return. And that's where we're acknowledging in remembering the spiritual aspect of ourselves. And this is the wave spell that we are currently going through. And this is the White Wizard wave spell. But the wave spells kind of give us a glimpse of what we're going to be evolving through. It allows us to magnetize, essentially. This is how we can take our thoughts and our ideas and turn them into things. It gives us a projection of how we're going to evolve. This particular wave spell, we're going through kin 14, which is the White Wizard, of course. We're going through the White Wizard wave spell, the White Magnetic Wizard. And then kin 15 was the Blue Lunar Eagle. Kin 16, the Yellow Electric Warrior. Kin 17, the Red Self-Existing Earth. Kin 18, the White Overtone Mirror. Kin 19, the Blue Rhythmic Storm. Kin 20, the Resonant Sun. Kin 21, the Galactic Dragon, the Red Galactic Dragon. Kin 22, the White Solar, the White Solar Wind. And kin 23, the Blue Planetary Night, just had a galactic return yesterday. Happy galactic return, kin 23. And where we are today, kin 24, the Yellow Spectral Seed. And then tomorrow will be Mama Tahita's galactic return. Happy galactic return, Mama Tahita, the Red Crystal Serpent. And then we'll be on kin 26, the White Cosmic World Bridger. And this is our affirmation for kin 24, the Yellow Spectral Seed. And it reads, I dissolve in order to target, releasing awareness. I seal the input of flowering with the spectral tone of liberation, and I am guided by my own power double. I dissolve in order to target, releasing awareness. I seal the input of flowering with the spectral tone of liberation, and I am guided by my own power doubled. We dissolve in order to target, releasing awareness. We seal the input of flowering with the spectral tone of liberation, and we are guided by our own power doubled. Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. And this is our 13 moon calendar. And this 13 moon calendar is a tool. It's a tool for accessing energy, really, is what it is, but it also puts us in alignment with natural time. And it consists of 13 moons, which equal the 360 plasmas that it takes the sun to go around the moon to go around, the earth to go around the sun. And then the lunar cycles, which are the 28 plasmas that each moon consists of, the 28 plasmas. And this is the time it takes the moon to go around the earth. And each moon has a tone. This particular moon is the rhythmic tone. And that's where we're dealing with organizing, balancing equality. And The tone is what the question of each moon. Each moon has a question. So that question is created from that tone. And the question for this moon is, how can I extend my equality to others? So we get to ask that throughout this moon. And each moon has 7 radioplasmas. And these radioplasmas, this is how consciousness travels, how consciousness moves throughout the universe, the cosmos. And they actually feed the chakras that are within our bodies, this radioplasma. And so each one of these plasmas is associated with a chakra. And this moon basically lets us know the quality of the plasma that we're going through each day, each plasma. And so for Dolly, we are tapping into our sacral chakra. Selly, we're tapping into the root chakra. Gamma, your third eye. Kali, your sacral chakra. Alpha, the root chakra. Lima, your solar plexus. And Silio, your heart chakra. We're currently on Silio right now. You can see down here, we're on the 21st plasma. And the energy that's going to be activated from tapping into the plasma and the chakra is Kin 24. So then each moon has these 4 heptads. And these 4 heptads is where, you know, we're gaining knowledge from tapping into the kin, asking these questions. And the first heptad is where the knowledge from receiving that knowledge through our intuition is being initiated. And so that opens our perception, you know, that widens our perception, and knowledge initiates view. And so the second heptad is where that knowledge is being refined, and, you know, we have more clarity. And so that's where humility refines the meditation. We have more clarity. And the third heptad is where patience transforms conduct, and where with patience, we integrate this information, we integrate it, and therefore we can change the conduct from having the knowledge integrated. And then the fourth heptad is the yellow heptad, where we experience the results. You know, it ripens, where the power from that process ripens the fruit. And this is where you have your solar return. This particular calendar here is where, you know, you talk about your birthday. This particular calendar is in alignment with, you know, these calendars are synchronized. So it's in alignment with the Gregorian calendar in terms of the date doesn't change. You know, we do have the day of the week, you know, we're not in a weekdays. So that's why we follow the plasmas and the heptads, but that will change. But as far as, like, we're on plasma 2021 here, it's always going to be the 2nd of January. So that is our 13 moon calendar. And this is the reading for the yellow seed, which is the 4th archetype out of 20. And it's also called the innocent. And it reads, I am the innocent. My sign is the yellow seed. I enter your universe from the 4th gate of light. My number is 4, clear, self-existing, intrinsic awareness. My number is 4, clear, self-existing, intrinsic awareness is my nature. Transparent, radiant, I sow the seeds of omniscience from the earth. I am the flowering of intrinsic awareness. In my pure consciousness, I bear the fruits of spirit. I am the unimagined blossoming of the new unsullied by contrivance or secret motivation. I am the holy fool. People mistake me for a simpleton, but I am merely the self reflecting face of all of their projections. If you wish and you are pure, I will share my secret with you. To know me is to rise in the strength of spirit and to resist all that is unlike good. Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe. Oh, can I get the slide switch, please? Okay. So we're going to get into these announcements real fast. So again, take some screenshots, write down some information so you can stay tapped in, see what excellent products we have to offer, and I'll be back in just a moment. right, we are back. We're going to get prepared to bring up Moon Goddess Ambrosia, the fifth force oracle of the Moon Goddess and the healing arts, and also a priestess initiate for the mimic priesthood and a instructor for the synchronistic human school of enlightenment. And she does an amazing job breaking down these charts. I'm always looking forward to hearing what she's got for us. And without further ado, if you're ready, Fifth Force Oracle, I yield the mic.
Peace, peace, wholeness, and divine blessings, everyone. Grand Rising. I am definitely feeling the vibes today. I'm thankful to be here in the space. I'm thankful that your minds and hearts are open and ready to evolve. And we got something going here. So I am thankful to be a part of it as a community. And I definitely want to start by giving a shout out to Brother Akil for, Brother Akil for holding it down on these sessions and just really showing how dedicated he is to everything. And I am ready to now get us into this oracle reading. I'm doing my best to be, to practice being very intentional with, making sure that, I share these insights in a way that we're able to really lock in and apply it. And so one of the first things that I want us to do is to align ourselves with the energy of being in unity with one another. And so what we're going to do is I want to encourage you all to say your affirmation with me. Because I am Kin 181, the rare crystal dragon, and I'm all about nurturing us as a community too. So yes, please join me in stating your personal affirmation. And we're going to start off by saying as a living expression of, and then you're going to say your kin number, and then you're going to say your affirmation. Okay. All right. So this helps us to lock into the mindset of being a synchronaut. And, the fact that, again, we're doing this together as a collective. And so let's go ahead and say our affirmation. As a living expression of, say your kin number and your affirmation. For me, Kin 181, the rare crystal dragon, I dedicate in order to nurture, universalizing being. I seal the input of birth with the crystal tone of cooperation. I am guided by the power of space. Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe Yo. And so this helps us to unify ourselves as a collective and also lock in with the as above, so below, as within, so without. And so I appreciate all of you for joining in that with me, because we are living expressions of our divine synergy in motion. We are here remembering our divine purpose and consciously creating and fulfilling our soul's mission in all spaces of time. And so the Destiny Kin Oracle reading will serve as a compass for us, or is here to serve as a compass. It's like a tool for us to really see how we're flowing in our cosmic synergy, and also seeing what the energy is flowing on that particular plasma. And so this Destiny Kin Oracle is based on the Oracle board that I have presented here on the right side, which includes all of the fifth dimensional templates, which includes the fifth dimensional template for all 20 archetypes. Okay, so it shows us our inner compass of sustaining our energy as multidimensional beings, so that when we show up, we're showing up in our creative power in all spaces and time, and it radiates throughout the entire universe. And so This is how we get to recognize each other based on, or it helps us to recognize each other based on how our energy shows up within us in our destiny oracle. And so here, just to go over how it reveals the multidimensional aspects of us, we could use the Kin for this plasma as an example. So we are on Kin 24, the yellow spectral seed. And so in the center, the archetype or the image of the solar seal represents the archetype. So we had Brother Akil read to us the archetype of the yellow seed, which is the innocence. And so that is the creative power that we're tapping in on today, which we'll get into just a bit here. In this destiny oracle, that sits in the position of the soul body or the soul's focus. So your archetype is your soul's focus, which you can find, look at the oracle board to see what destiny, well, what the layout is for your archetype. And so I have it pointed out to where the yellow seed is. And so I want to encourage you to find yours when you are looking at the oracle board. Grab a screenshot of it, or or something like that. And you can also use that as a reference when we're going through the oracle reading itself. And so one thing I do want to mention about the Destiny Oracle for the Yellow Seed is that on the right side, that is the blue eagle sitting in the physical body. Down below, that is the red earth sitting in the emotional body, which is like the gas in our car. And the physical body is, like our actual body, and then as well as our environments. On the left is the mental body, where we have the white wizard. And the mental body is what's helping us to overcome different challenges. And so a really good way to help remember that is using the analogy of being a synchronaut or a traveler of synchronicities, through time. And so emotional body is the gas, mental body is what's helping us to navigate within this vessel, be able to identify like if we need to take any detours or navigate externally. And then the physical body is the car. And so last but not least, in the above position, that's known as the spirit guide, and that will be like the GPS in directing us in our focus. And so being that this is a spectral tone, or this is the spectral tone, the spirit guide is going to be the same as the soul's focus. So there are some patterns that you can see with that, but I'll just say you'll see the same archetype when it comes to the magnetic tone, the spectral tone, and I think that's it that's coming to mind. I think those are the two. And the rhythmic tone. You'll see it for the rhythmic tone too. So when you're looking at the oracle board, you will see that the spirit guide position is blank for all of the archetypes. And that is because the solar seal, or the archetype that will sit there, is dependent on the galactic tone of your solar seal, or of that archetype sitting in the center. And so essentially all of the yellow seeds will have the 4 same archetypes. And the spirit guide archetype, it may differ. So that's how you can see some different connections if you know somebody else that may share the same archetype with you, but is carrying a different galactic tone or frequency, because that means they're moving in a different vibration of that creative power. And so let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of the yellow spectral seed, where the color tone reflects, excuse me, the color tone reflects the same thing that each heptad does. So the yellow is where power ripens fruit. So on this plasma, we are tapping into our creative power and ripening some fruits. Okay, so that means it's basically like us shining our light, so the trees can bloom and things. And so jumping down to the archetype, the yellow seed known as the innocence, this creative power is of flowering by having a target and being aware. So we're ripening this creative power in order to be aware and bloom our target. We're ripening fruits. And so the vibration or the frequency that we're tapping into is the spectral tone, which is dissolving, liberation, and releasing. And I have a really dope analogy that I'm going to be using for that, when we get to the next part here. So let's go ahead and read over the affirmation, my remix version of it, which includes some additional information. Give me 1 second. Having a little glitch thing with my computer. One moment. Okay. All right. So the affirmation: I dissolve my timelessness. That's the wave spell that we're in order to target my death. That's the end part of the wave spell. By releasing my awareness, I seal my informed input of flowering with the spectral tone of liberation. I am guided by my own power of flowering doubled. I forgot to update the little piece there. It's supposed to say doubled at the end of that. And so yes, that is the frequency that we're tapping into, because just from remembering the fact that Brother Akil definitely, reminds us that, or has reminded us that all of the 13 archetypes in this wave spell helps to serve the mission. So the spectral seed is serving, this is how the spectral seed is helping us to carry out this wave spell, by releasing the awareness. Okay, so Ashe to the affirmation. And so this is the fun analogy, or the dope analogy that came up. Because one thing I like to do, well, before I get into that, one thing I like for us to do is, like, when we're reading the affirmation, really pay attention to what's standing out for you and meditate on that, because that's how you will get those insights. And so when I took a moment to reflect on it, here are, this is how I ended up using this as the focus for today. So the first line, it says, I dissolve my timelessness in order to target. So what came to mind was, when life gives you lemons, what do we do? Well, the point of this is that we got to consciously choose what experience or opportunity is actually going to be our target. So when you get those lemons, whether it's the full lemon or the seed, you got some decisions to make. What do you want to do with that lemon or that seed? Are you going to plant it, to grow a garden? You're going to make some lemonade? You're going to sell some lemons? Like, what you going to do? So this plasma, we're really focusing on, being aware of what we've been shown throughout this wave spell to know what our goal is. And so to dissolve that timelessness means that, or to get to that clarity, that's where dissolving the timelessness comes in at. We have to allow ourselves to be liberated from the pressures and expectations of time, by truly allowing ourselves to be receptive, so that we can gain the awareness of, what opportunities we're targeting. Okay, so it's just like, if you have a busy mind, it's hard to focus. You're worrying about, oh, I gotta hurry up and do this, like, that could cloud our judgment and also get in the way of us getting the full clarity. And so by focusing on this Kinergy today, is encouraging us to be receptive, so that awareness that we gain can be released. It's just like, when you put sugar in, like, as soon as you drop the sugar into the water, or the lemons into the water, that it's going to start to dissolve. It's going to become one. So when we are focusing on our target, that's the same thing that happens with our awareness. It's going to dissolve within us. And so, by us being open to gaining the clarity of knowing what's necessary, and then also digesting that or letting it dissolve within us, like that insight, that's how we know we received it. And then we can start getting into the frequency of actually enchanting that opportunity. And so the next thing that stood out was I sealed my informed input of flowering with the spectral tone of liberation. So again, we got to be clear on what our goal is. And once we are, it's time to lock in on that, lock it in, seal it in. And so that's allowing that awareness to be properly implanted within all aspects of our existence. And so when we do that, it allows for us to, eventually, it will lead to us having that external experience of it. And so when we embody that and know what our role is when it comes to this flowering process, that ideal, that target, that goal is not just going to be stuck in our head. It's not meant to. We can liberate it from our minds by embracing and letting it dissolve in us, and then embracing the next steps that's required for us to bring in the opportunity to make it our reality. And so that is the insight that I received when I was reflecting on it. And it led to me asking 2 questions. Are you aware of the opportunities calling you? Do you know what is calling for you to plant? What seeds is calling for you to plant? Also, are you in a state of timeless receptivity to even embody your role? Are you being receptive to even embodying what you say you want to experience? So those were the main 2 questions that came up for me. So as we meditate and reflect on that, really look at, allow this oracle reading to show you the process of getting that clarity, and then also knowing what to do once you receive it. And so my 1-line reminder for the focus is, I am releasing awareness and receptivity. I probably should say, I am releasing my receptivity and my awareness, because we got to be receptive first towards my target to enchant the opportunity. So Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe yo. All right, so oracle reading time. The main frequency that we are focusing on is dissolving, liberation, and releasing. So the main question is, how do I release and let go? So we know what the focus is to target the flowering. The focus is to release that awareness. We're also being guided to release the awareness. So it's hitting us double time to say, all right, no, like seriously do it. It's like that extra push, like, no, keep going. Don't just stop at being aware, keep going. We're going to release it too. And so down below in the emotional body, we have the red electric earth. And I felt called to focus on this first because of the color pattern of the order. So we got to have the knowledge that's going to initiate the view. So in order to be clear on what our target is, we have to get in tune with our emotions and really look at how we want to, what we want to activate. What do we really want to do? So we look at how we want to evolve in the way that we're navigating. So it's calling for us to bond the synchronicities. So bonding the synchronicities mean, you gotta envision it, you gotta feel it, you gotta be it, you gotta think it. Everything within you has to align to what you want to target. So everything within you has to align with the opportunities that you want to target. That is what the emotional body is telling us to set the stage for. So when we move over to the mental body, we have the white spectral wizard that's sitting there. And remember, this is the position where we encounter different challenges. The challenges are learning opportunities. It's the gift. That's how we, that's the beauty of it all, even though it don't always feel like it. So the challenge is to enchant that timelessness and release the receptivity. Don't be so resistant to what wisdom you received. Don't be resistant to it, because if it aligns with your goals, why are you resisting it? So it's sitting here saying, like, don't fight it. Just make sure that you are being clear. You might have to refine, how you're thinking about it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So release that receptivity, let what's for you dissolve within you, and keep moving towards your target. And last but not least, the physical body here on the right, that's the blue spectral eagle, which is supporting us in our focus, supporting us, keeping our mind focused on it, supporting us having this, having the synchronicities locked in within us emotionally. And it shows up by creating a vision of what it's going to look like, or what it could look like, right? And so that helps to now see what our target is, to now release it from our minds. So I'm having fun. I'm loving this, because this is showing us exactly how we take the target, something is it in or non-tangible? I think it's non-tangible. We're taking something non-tangible and making it real outside of us. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. I feel like HP having a moment. But yeah, this is the layout. This is how the Destiny Can Oracle helps us to like really lock in on, the energy of the focus, and also in alignment with what our personal goals are based on our galactic signatures focus. Okay, so 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 yeah, in a nutshell, this is the oracle reading. And the last thing I'll add in regards to it is that when we harmonize all of these things together, put it all together, it's going to show up as us really modeling, actually being receptive, because it's bringing together all of the pieces that's going to help us to accomplish self-generating, the energy within us to actually create it externally. So that is the goal for the focus, the kin for the plasma. And so with that concludes the oracle reading. And as always, I am thankful to I don't think y'all understand. Like, I am deeply thankful to be a part of Mimic and Synchronistic Human with all of you. And those that are yet, that have yet to come and get to be familiar with what we're doing. And so let me go ahead before I start getting my feelings. And so I'll just go ahead and leave y'all with my love, my appreciation. May that you all enjoy your creation in every single moment of now. In La Kesh, I La Kin. I love y'all. Stay peace. Gratitude.
Excellent breakdown. That was excellent. I like the reminder to be above being pressured by time. That's one of them things right there. Being receptive so awareness can be released. Being receptive so it can be released. Gain the clarity of knowing what is necessary. I like those things resonate with me, and I appreciate the message. And I second the being grateful for being a part of these communities, this umbrella of evolutionary communities. I second that. This is life changing, and we have coming to the stage HP, and I say HP has definitely been consistent in her how I want to say, like her commitment. Like, it's real. to what I look at as the foundation of being the mission statement, you know. And I believe through her being committed, she's produced the unwounded and the what's in your womb and the melanin frequencies and mimic, you know, the priesthood. And these things have been, well, at least the teachings that I get from her, which, you know, the knowledge that she has produces this material. It's life changing. So I'm grateful and honored to be bringing up High Priestess and Makaru. Amen. And I yield.
Amen. The high priestess, the mimic who pulled me in. Amen. The high priestess, the mimic who pulled me in. It's time we come together to raise our consciousness. Amen. The high priestess, the mimic who pulled me in. Amen. Amen. The high priestess, the mimic who pulled me in. Amen. It's time we come together to raise our consciousness.
All right. Greetings. Am I being heard? I think I am. Let's see. All right. I think I'm being heard, right? Am I being heard? Okay. All right. Give thanks, Ken 23. All right. So great dawning, everyone. And welcome again to Aligning with the Cycles. Look, I'm over here just, I don't know. I'm excited. Like this is my first day of school, right? I don't know. I don't know what happened. So give thanks, Brother Akil, for being our host. And just like I said, all the dedication that you have in giving us those reminders of why we're here, right? This tool that we're learning to, you know, operating cycles within cycles. And then just being able to put it into a format which is easy to remember and understand. Also, big shout out to Moon Goddess Ambrosia for the oracle reading. I think she got me hyped. That's what happened. So, excellent oracle reading. I'm gonna tie in some of what I heard from her into this. Y'all know how it happens, right? So definitely appreciate that. And all of you for being here on this Friday dawning, coming in and just being dedicated to being here. We really are on a precipice of something amazing. And we're doing something. This is evolutionary, right? What we're doing, focusing this energy on ourselves, evolving ourselves, right? Is an evolutionary act and an act of unity. And so this is awesome. And I'm definitely honored to be among you and just, you know, be here to see this through. You know, see this destiny come through, this mission. All right. So let's get into it. We are here, as you know, we are in the wave spell of timelessness, the wave spell of the wizard, which deals with enchantment, right? And as we know, and what we know is that an enchantment is an incantation, right? And so it's it's a mantra. And in my early years of my early training in becoming a priestess, that was one of the main things that we did. We used to have sessions, and we kind of, I kind of brought some of that into Mimic. We just do it in a different way. But we had sessions where we just chanted and chanted and chanted and chanted. And so, and it does, like, I used to use that as a tool when I really wanted to see change. I used to use chanting for that, and I would sit and do, we used to call it Ka Amen, right? And so we would do, how you have the mala beads, and there are 108 on there. We would do it 10 times. So that's 1,080. And we do it in one setting. And literally, in my initiation, I had to do that. I had to do that every day, right? And so, so that 1,080, when you chant something, the same thing, 1,080 times, okay, it does something a little different to you, right? It puts you in a trance. Right. And now, not everybody had the same experience. It just depends, right? It's different experiences that people had in doing these sessions. But I can tell you that when I really wanted to hold, this is before brain balancing. This is before knowing this cosmology. But I use it as a tool for when I really wanted to hold a focus on something. I would just chant it. And it wouldn't be, and this is why when you hear me talk about breaking things down into very simple terms, because you don't want to be sitting there with them malas with a real long sentence. 1,080 times. Because it's harder to get into that trance. You see what I'm saying? It's harder to get into that because you got, it's a little rhythm. You know what I'm saying? That you have when you're chanting. So, but yes, it is a tool of focus. This incantation, and what I was going, I was going all into down memory lane. Y'all gotta stop me, right? Anyway, like bring it back. Okay, so. So talking about that was an enchantment. That's my purpose of saying that, right? And that is a mantra, right? And so we're in that cycle of this mantra, this incantation, right? And we talked about this on the last session, right? We talked about really knowing your signature in very simple terms that you can explain to a 5-year-old and they'll get it. You know what I'm saying? Because that is an enchantment. It's a mantra that you walk with, right? No matter where you are in time, in timelessness, right? And so this is where we are. I'm going to go back to the wave spell in a minute. I just want to take a look at this cycle that we're in. And we call this chart the divine life cycle of the Zokin, all the way to the right. That's where you see the Zokin. And of course, Brother Akil broke that down for us, what that is, right? And that each one of us is one of those little squares on there, right? One of those, that's one of our expressions. And depending on where you are, like if you're one of the green ones, that's a portal, and it's a level of amplified energy, right? For that particular archetype. It doesn't make it better. It doesn't make it more. It doesn't make, I really want us to operate. What if we didn't have those terms? Right? Those are conquering war terms and language. And I know the English language is full of them. Right? What if we couldn't say the best? What if we couldn't say first? What if we couldn't say more, greater, stronger, bigger, better? What would we say? Right? Because it doesn't matter whichever, you can't, if you remove any of these archetypes out of this, then you no longer have a harmonic model. It's not in harmony. It doesn't do the same thing. It's something else. Right? So if everyone is able to just focus in, hone in, the best thing that we can do, I said this before, when I start really opening up about my thought processes on certain things, right? And speaking it, in that, we talk about the Most High, and I say, hey, we the Most High. If you want to honor the Most High, you be the Most High in your embodiment, right? Because living a life of worship, living a life on your knees, right? What's that gonna do? Be the Most High in your own expression. That's honoring. That's honoring because it goes back into the source, right? You doing the most, right? I forgot right about our acronym for most. Mycelium of source, tree, right? Or whatever we put that T on, right? That's how you be the Most High. By being that expression to its fullest. When you look at this model, right, it's like the whole variety of how source expresses itself on earth. And each one of us have one of the function to be the whole thing as one of those expressions. Right? And so if we take that upon ourselves, I think we have something. I think if we really just, put it upon ourselves, a lot of times when we look at problems and things like that, and I love when I check that word out and I realized it was pro-blame, right? For blame. I said, wow, that is how, and I don't have to look at nobody else except me, right? That is how we have been trained to operate, pro-blame. If I stub my toe, I want to see what blame do I have to place on the thing that was on the floor that made me stub my toe, or the rock. You see what I mean? It's pro-blame. Right? And so, and then I want to know why that was on the floor, who left it. And I told them not to dip. Right? Well, what if there was something what if I couldn't use that? And I just stubbed my toe. And I wasn't I wasn't in a pro-blame. It's just, it was maybe the body getting my attention about something. And I wasn't paying enough attention. I was not paying enough attention, or I wasn't in sync with the natural frequency of the body. Right? The body has, and maybe it doesn't have eyes, but it has senses that beyond eyes. So it saw that rock, a mile away. And maybe I stubbed my toe because I wasn't in sync in my body. Or maybe I stubbed my toe on the Lego on the floor or whatever. I stepped on it, whatever, because I wasn't in sync. I wasn't integrated in my body. And so that is the problem, right? And so as I'm saying all of this in conjunction with us being so secure, so grounded in our expression that there is no problem. There is no way. You don't have enough time, and we're going to talk about time today, and energy, right, to be focused on, well, I'm kin number 8, so I let me see what kin number 7 is doing, right? A kin number 12, let me see if they doing what they supposed to be doing. Well, if everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, then we are all in sync. And then once we, again, with the destiny, what we know is we're not just in one dimension. We're in a whole bunch of dimensions at one time. And all of those have to be synced. And then we got something, right? And if we're able to point all of that into our most high, which is us all united with this heart energy, then we become in sync, we become unified and amplified in our abilities and because then it's not based on where we were in this war and this conflict and this danger and this fear. Everything is already included. It's the strength of the whole thing. And we have access, each one of us have access to the whole thing from our expression because we're all connected, right? And so where we are, right, we're in this first cycle of new birth and new being, right? A paradigm shift, another way of living, being, right? And being in the natural, being more in our natural state, our true nature and nurture, right? And in there, we have 4 wave spells, right? Let's look at those, right? We have 4 wave spells. And we call this group Purpose Enlightenment. And this first one, right, it is the initiation of that new being. Why? Because right before that, right, let me just go back, because this is a circle. It's really a circle, right? We started with, we were in this instructions before a new birth, right? Which is directly connected to the new being, right? So we can't even separate any of these cycles because they keep in a spiral. They keep upgrading and updating every time, right? So this new birth, this new birth and this new being happens with these 4 wave spells, right? And they're starting with our new nature. We're not the same. I bet there's nobody on here who's just been through a 260 spin for the first time and they look back at where they were when they first started, that they're the same. See, because we're going to be talking about awareness today too, right? You are now aware of how you're going through these cycles. And by placing your awareness on it, a lot of times changes it. You see what I mean? So sometimes, I remember this line from a movie, I think it was Dune, was the original, one of the first Dunes that came out. She said, do you think that sometimes knowing the future changes it? Right? So when you put your awareness on something, now you know, now you're paying attention. So as you've been going through these 260 spins, you've been paying attention. to these cycles. And now you can actually see more. You can experience more, and you can make the adjustments that you need to make, right? So we go into this wave spell, we go into purpose, right? A new paradigm. It gets refined. Purpose gets refined by timelessness, right? This time around, we have a different mindset, a different level of consciousness, and not just knowing this. We have a new way in which we can operate. That we can integrate and implement. We have a different way. Because we ain't even on the same platform. It's kind of amazing. It's kind of, because you may not know exactly what, what's going to happen. All right, that's why I said this is an evolutionary act that we're doing. We're not doing it the same way. This earth, the consciousness on this earth has been at war. I'm going to say it's probably even beyond the 20,026 years. Right? That's probably been the most intense. Some people say it started with the Pharaonic period. Right? When they start naming those dynasties. That's when so we've been in a war state. Right? And we hear these prophecies, right, of the 26,000 year period. The first person I learned that from was Dr. B. Sirius when I lived in California. I didn't know what I was hearing, but I remembered it once I got connected to this cosmology. Right? So this 26,000 year period. And that's in this war state. And so we're coming out of that. This is why it's more acceptable now. Have y'all noticed that even when you're in arenas with people who may not have the same in the same mindset or whatever, it's a little easier now? If anybody knows that, it's easier. Let me tell you, since my awakening, I'm going to say 20 plus years ago, I have had a vision to do things a little differently, to not operate in commerce a certain kind of way, not to accept that everybody's out to get you, that somebody's always trying to, come at you for something like that. I've been arguing that point probably for 20 something years. And now it's easier to get that point across. It's easier for me because even though I might have had that in my mind, perhaps my behavior was not in alignment with what I was saying out of my mouth. Right? And so I was still attracting certain types of energy. Right? But now it's easier, because everybody is now, this is opening up now. This energy is opening up now so that everybody wants something different. They're tired of war. The majority of people, there's some people still want this war. Right? But the majority of people are tired of war. They're tired of the division. Tired of being an indivision of you all, right? Right? And want more united. So as we go into this, and we're talking about this purpose, right? And how it's refined through this timelessness. Now, why was I saying that? Right? Now we're more receptive to the activities, right? That are no longer based on the past, right? And no longer based on projections in the future that say, oh man, we going back to this time. No, we're not. Because that incantation, that chant, that energy is a quiet, isn't it? Or maybe not so quiet, but it's an energy that says, we're not about to go back around to the same thing again. No, we're not. And that's everybody. Nobody wants that anymore. That's over. I used to talk about how, again, this is some of the stuff that would get me in trouble, but I used to talk about how, everybody wants to figure out how the pyramids were built and everything, and that's fine. And, somebody wanted to be the winner about, whatever. And I would just say, well, maybe we're not supposed to figure that out. Maybe we're just supposed to figure out what to do with them. Take it to the next level. They put them here, and then now it's time to figure out. Now it's to use them for this new frequency. We're not in that time anymore. We can't relive that. We're not reliving civil rights. We're not, trying to do marches on Washington and all of that stuff. That's over. Now, what we can do, though, is take that energy this is timelessness, right? I'm looking at the question. Hold on. Take that energy to this next level, right? And to answer your question, I see that if we continue to frequent non-justice, aren't we then creating it? If I'm reading that right. Right. So what I would say to that is we're not even working from that as a platform, right? The platform that there is what we need justice for, unless we have war. We get rid of the war. We get rid of all of that. We get rid of the need to have justice, right? Which is far more to me. It's done. We're not even doing that no more. Because when you operating from justice, or you need justice, you need retribution, you need whatever, then that's coming from a deficit. I don't think we're gonna ever get justice if we come from a point of deficit. But what we can do is say we snuff out the whole consciousness that creates that division in the first place. Because if we are one of these expressions, let's go back. We the whole thing right here. The whole thing. That's why I said everybody double down on who you are in your full expression. Purpose is more powerful than problems. And so if we walk, all of us as source, God on earth, right? Then we say, listen, we ain't even on that no more. That's not the stronghold. The stronghold is not that we got people on this planet that sit around desks and, have evil meetings about what everybody else is going to do, right? And everybody has been on that program and drank the Kool-Aid. We drinking their water and all of that stuff. What if now you can't put shit in the water? You can't put nothing in the air. You can't, because we're beyond it anyway. And that comes with each one of us knowing. Oh, I got you. It comes with each one of us knowing. But great question. I'm glad you asked it. It comes with each one of us knowing that we have that strength, that we don't have to operate in a less than. Is really because what's natural? Overabundance is natural. That's nature, the true nature of things. And again, you ain't gotta believe no cosmology or nothing. Just look outside. Look at all them dang pine needles on the ground. All the leaves on the ground. They blow them every week and they're still, you know what I'm saying? Even in the trees don't have leaves. Let's see how long it takes you to go and count all the branches. Even with the leaves off, can you count all the branches on them trees? So that's the true nature of things. So we're beyond that now. We ain't on that no more. And nobody wants it. And so we need to stop operating from being in a position of deficit about everything. That's why we accept so many things. We got PTSD. Right? So we accept that, oh, okay, any kind of virus or bacteria, it has the authority over our bodies. Right? Any type of person, place, or thing that wants to come and decide to do us harm, as soon as it decides that, it has the authority. That don't make no sense. No, we always had a purpose is more prevalent than problems. We always have the authority. All the time. Just because something that is, I go with efficient and inefficient. It's efficient to be fully in purpose, right? That's efficient. Inefficient is moving from that purpose and allowing something that's not in sync with that efficiency, or don't want to be in sync, to come in and say, hey, I'm gonna come and blow this whole thing up. And then everybody scatters. That's kind of what we experience with these minute group of people who get to determine what the whole planet is going to do with a pen and a piece of paper. Minute. If everyone starts to operate and tap into that mycelium of source, they would simply dissolve. You know, I like one of my teachers, she talked about, here's a good example of, you watch some of these old movies with the Greek gods and all of that stuff. They say, well, why is it that now nobody's really, in worship of Zeus and all of those people? I said, just because you forgot them. They just simply went away. Right? We have etheric power. That's probably, here's the thing. The etheric power, I'm going to say power, magnetism, all of those things, that's actually the strongest. It seems like physical is, because that's where our awareness is. right? But I think if we even change it to, instead of the body being physical, the body being metaphysical, we would understand a little bit different, right? That is the majority of what consciousness is. And when you have that awareness, which we're going to talk about today, right? When you have that awareness and you move out of your PTSD from being under that program, right? You move with that. And then also PTSD about us being disconnected. Oh, we absolutely are connected. That's why we talk about each other all the time. Just notice again, we ain't got go no further than ourselves. How we are always talking about people. Oh, well, people, some people just, and people. And I've said this before, right? I said, you know what? Let me stop looking at it in a negative kind of way. Let me look at it in that perhaps we keep talking about each other because we miss each other. We miss the true connection, and we under this program is telling us that our true nature is really to be connected to everybody, but it's telling us that these are combatants, and then so on a sly way, the way the consciousness said, I got you. Let's just keep talking about people all the time. Let's just talk about them. Let's get away from them. Let's go over here. Let's pretend like, all of these different things. But it's still us connecting. It might be inefficient, but we're still connecting. So let's shift it into this connection. That's why we're going to this 52 week, I'm gonna say week, or it's 52 heptads, right? I can't say week, 52 heptads, of unity, of finding that unity again, right? While we're connecting in purpose. Yeah, man. All right. So let's go back here. Y'all all right? Okay. So let's go back here to this timelessness, right? So how this timelessness refines our purpose. We refine it through going through this cycle again, not again, but another cycle, and now being receptive to this new paradigm, this new way of being, this natural way of being, and enchanting that, right? And we're going to get into that in a minute. Then we transform it, I say, in our avatar, because accomplishment is the blue hand and it is the avatar, right? So we transform all of that into being in our metaphysical vessel, right? No, in full knowledge. That's how we came in the first place, right? We were, if you know the womb evolution technique, you know that in the womb, the archetype that represents the womb, or where we sit, is the blue hand. That gestation cycle, most of it is we sitting right there on that blue hand, receiving the knowledge of life and immortality, life force, and the world bridger right beside it, right? Coming up from the bottom, coming up from source, getting that cosmic, the reflection of the cosmos into the avatar. And then, and it really, I'm not doing it necessarily in any kind of order, but also having the primal force right in there, channeling the true nature of all creation into the avatar. We are metaphysical. And our power, our purpose, our magnetism, everything that we need to do here on earth is right in it is in this physical form. This physical, we say the physical form is limited. Is it though? I recommend this book to everybody. Autobiography of a Yogi. Right? The Autobiography of a Yogi, and they talk about in that book, they describe a lot of the things that this Yogi Nanda, I forget his name, his experience in India and with the yogis and all of this stuff. They talk about Papaji and all of these great yogis, right, that had these experience, or this is what they developed in their physical form. These were living, breathing people that were able to go outside the confounds of what we are told physical is. These part of when the scientists, when they break down the atom and they go in between the atoms or whatever, they say we made up the same thing of stars. It's just how we vibrating. Let's go to something that maybe is more in alignment with us. It's melanin dominant. I bring this up all the time. Look up Simeon Toko. They called him the African Avatar. He was able to pull his body. They would run him over with stuff, break his body apart. And he put that thing right back together. Because he didn't have his mind. It's the mind. It's not the mind, the brain that limits what you can do with this body. Right? It's the brain. And if we're able to open up to more awareness, more consciousness, then perhaps we can experience ourselves like Simeon Toko as well, and others, right? This is why we've opened up the brain balancing program for those, or it's not really the full program like those who were trained to do it, but we are able to help you get balance, give you your measurements and things like that. And so I highly, highly recommend it, right? You saw it in the announcements. If it's something that you're interested in, definitely just hit us up, admin at Melanated Immortals, right? So this accomplishment, right? That's a transformation into the body. Then ain't nothing else to do but live an enlightened life with it, right? Be the enlightened one that you are. We all are. That's it. This cycle, I love this because it kind of just tells you the whole thing. This is what we're going to do. This is how it works. And then when we come back around, we're going to do it again, but better or more efficient, right? I'm using the words that I have. I told you, I'm working on it. I'm working on my language to not speak in war and conflict. All right. So let's get into it. I always crack up when I go on and on and on. I'll be like, okay, let's get into it. So we're here on Kin 24, the yellow spectral seed that says we dissolve in order to target, releasing awareness. We seal the input of flowering with the spectral tone of liberation, and we're guided by our own power doubled. So we're right here on this. We're almost done here with this wave spell of timelessness. And we're on this spectral tone. And one of the things that I learned as I started going through the cosmology, is, when you can take these archetypes, each tone, and you can use them separately. But I found it to be more efficient when you use it together, when you keep the wave spell together. And because when I look at the spectral tone, it dissolves, right? And what I was looking at, I said, well, it don't make no sense that why because the previous tone is perfection, right? The 10th tone is the tone of perfection. And so I was explaining it one way, and then I said, well, why would I dissolve right after it's perfect? And we used to call this, now this is the way I used to explain it. We used to call that the retrograde, right? The spectral tone, right? Because you get up to 10, you perfected everything, and then you start slipping, right? you might start slipping, and the spectral tone will come in and dissolve it. But as I started going through these 260 spins in more awareness, I said, no. Perhaps this is just a perspective. Perhaps it is a, this is, it's kind of because we're closing out this wave spell, right? We're closing out this wave spell, that perhaps this is a sign of, because the spectral tone, it's the spectral tone of liberation. It's not the spectral tone of dissolving, right? It's supposed to free things up after they have been perfected, to liberate it, right? And so it's always what you mean by that, Hoppy? I'm not sure what you mean by that question. Anything else that doesn't align? So the way I explain it is that everything has already been dissolved because it was perfected on the last plasma, right? We had perfect abundance in our timelessness, in our enchantment, right? And so the spectral tones say, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going, right? It's a little bit more that we need to do here, right? Don't get all excited. Don't get excited yet, right? Let's keep it going. Everything has been dissolved so you can target your awareness. And that's what just happened, right? Everything that I just talked about. This is how you keep that enchantment going. This is how you keep that incantation going. This is how you are now receptive to the activities. You're not focused. Your focus does not come from a deficit. Your focus comes from being source. Right? And so once you go through that tone of perfection, it says everything has been dissolved so you can target, right? Stay with me and release your awareness now. I know you were celebrating yesterday. Set it free. I love the way Moon Goddess talked about dissolve as dissolving into oneness, right? Right? Just go ahead and put it all together into one thing, right? In order to target releasing this awareness, now you have a different level of awareness. When you're aware of things, they change. You can't not see it no more. You can ignore it if you want to, but it's there. And now something happens. Yeah, you know what? To 226, the 13 tones. I'd had to do 13 tones to really break down all of that. Yeah. So releasing awareness. We seal the input of flowering. So we let me go back. I'm tripping. I got a whole slide on this, right? I wanted to talk about where we're going before I go into the breakdown of the signature, right? So everything has been dissolved so that we can be aware, right? Which is going to take us into Mama Tahita's, right? Kid 25, so that now we are literally breathing life force. We are solidifying this life force, this new way of being, right? With divine instincts coming from the universe. Like I said, they ain't coming from problems, problems, situations, circumstances, karma, drama, traumas. It's universal instincts, right? And we're breathing our life into that. And then we close it out with immortality, right? This is death, but it's really deathlessness. It's the world bridger, bridging us into immortality, right? And so we take that into this next cycle, and then we see what this prophecy is about, right? So, then we take it to this next cycle and we put it into the avatar and have the full experience, right? So let's go into it. We dissolve, right? We have already solved, because what is dissolve? D and solve, right? We dissolve. I say that the Kin 24 liberates time, frees our mind of time, or as Baba Wanik talks about, intimidation, in time, in dates, right? We have already solved in order to target. We hone in on natural time. That's our target, is to be in alignment with this timelessness, with natural time. You know, time actually is connected to the word tide. You know, back then they had no clocks. How did they find out time? By the woman, menstrual cycles, right? Those that had menstrual cycles. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing. But let's go with the menstrual cycles, right? The birthing, the gestation cycle, right? Tides, daily time, when the tide comes in, when the tide goes out. And then, of course, the sun and when day and night, right? I say 141. Happy galactic return to Kin 26. So the tides going in and out, that's time. That's natural time, right? Because the tides, it depended on the seasons, right? The tides change too, right? So we have already solved this. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. We already know if we stand beyond time, right? Our awareness can go to the things that are natural, right? It frees up the consciousness. No limit. We're not limited to what we have, what we want, what we need, what we ain't got, what we about to get. That's not a limit. This is an experience. It's something. We don't have to ignore it, but we also don't have to be limited by it. We don't have to ignore what we would call a so-called problem. I'm not suggesting that at all. I'm saying it's not a limit. It's not the platform in which we operate from. You have greater opportunities if you don't. You can see things a different kind of way. You have more access. That's what this spectral seed is telling us, right? We seal the input of flowering. We put it in to where it flows. We said, oh, well, I ain't got, okay, I don't need to see it that way no more. Because what flows, what flowers, flowering, right? That's a flower, is that my consciousness is open when I'm free from my problems. I can see a way out. And if I'm able to stay in my frequency, if I'm able to hold my position, things do start operating. Here's something about time. We've also have been programmed because of, I'm going to say, aging, because of death. We have been programmed that we can run out of time, or that things take too long, right? All of those. Again, like I said, I ain't going to say get rid of nothing in that sense. I'm going to say, well, expand. What if there's judgments on that, right? There's judgments on things taking too long, right? Running out of time. And so we have this relationship. We have been having this relationship with time that is literally intimidating. Like Baba Monique said, in time and dates, we're intimidated. We don't have enough time. We got due dates, deadlines, right? All war consciousness, right? What if that wasn't where we stopped, or that wasn't our limit? That's not how we're operating, right? Because as we go through these cycles, some of these cycles will have us because we have a inefficient relationship with time. You literally get caught up in time because of the resistance. I ain't going no further than me. I'm a prime example, right? Of I resisting, and still had the experience. Because perhaps I didn't have the proper consciousness or awareness about time. And that when you stand beyond time, you master it. You determine it. Right? You also get to have an appreciation, right? Time is what allows you to feel yourself, feel consciousness. This body, this physical, metaphysical form is literally time. We're operating this, we feel in time. We're emanating time just in this vessel. So maybe if we had more appreciation of time, we also have more appreciation of time as us, right? All of it is our consciousness. All of it is source. And when you source, then you determine what time does. All of it, in all of expressions. And then you can appreciate it. It's not something, you ain't racing against the clock. right? You can appreciate how long it takes for something to happen. For example, who anybody on here had a premature baby? Right? And if you did, you can appreciate time, because you didn't want that experience. Your baby is in the hospital, you with tubes and in this little machine, and then you have to keep going back. You wish you had that time back. That baby was on the inside. You see, you can appreciate the time that it takes approximately 9 months or 10 months. It winds up being 10 months sometimes, right? To develop this form. But you appreciate it, right? You appreciate time when you need to get some sleep. You only had 2 hours of sleep and you got to get up and go do something that's going to take several hours. You appreciate that time. But there are things that we don't appreciate. We want something, we want it now, today, right now, yesterday. Right? Now, I'm not saying be complacent. I'm saying there's a larger awareness. Those things, look at how you look at time and back it up and see why you feel that way. And you may find a judgment hiding behind it. Right? I say, yeah. 240, I see you. I say, yep. But you may find a judgment behind how you feel when you are struggling with how long something is taking, or how long it's not taking, right? There's a judgment. Maybe we have the wrong idea about time. Maybe we can have a stronger awareness. And then with that, I heard Moon Goddess talking about this in her oracle reading, then things synchronize a little differently. Right? They flow. They flowering, right? They flow freely. I think the biggest message for Kin 24 is to free time, free up your mind from this time, right? And allow things to flow freely. We are guided by our own power double, leading to this discernment over and over again, right? Double down on it. Double down on your discernment, your awareness. Right? Allow it to flow freely. Yes, yes, yes. So let's talk about real quick. Let's take a look at the soul circle, right? Look at what the seed channels, the cosmos, the mirror. It channels the reflection or order. So whatever you are focused on, that's what shows up. That's what flowers. That's what flows. And if it's not flowing freely, if it's not being liberated, then there's something behind it. There's an obstruction. And technically, we don't even have to live under, there's always going to be an obstruction. There's always something that's going to come up. There's always, you see what I'm saying? That's deficit. The strongest thing, purpose, is more powerful than problems. Right? So the yellow seed channels the mirror, channels divine order and the cosmic reflection. This is why you can trust your incantation, right? Because the mental body of the seed is the wizard, which is timelessness, right? So we getting it double on this plasma, right? Expresses and receives awareness from all times, right? It's already channeled the whole cosmos. Said here's the incantation that goes with these activities. Here's the mantra to keep you focused. Right? It don't matter what happened in the past, what got projected in the future, right? Whatever problem that's happening right now. This is how you can be more aware and hold that frequency, right? And evolve. And when you do, you can evolve. That's how the seed moves through the red earth, which is evolution, right? It moves the emotional body. It puts it in motion. It puts this awareness in motion. It evolves it. What do we say in the beginning? When you are aware of something, it changes. And in this case, it changes and into in a more efficient way. That's evolution is efficient. It makes things more efficient, right? And then what comes out in our expression, the mental state to hold the frequency, the vision of the eagle, a clear mind, because we can trust this, because we what are we trusting? Us. We can trust that, so with that, it definitely has been my honor and my pleasure. I love y'all. Let's look at this question about how aware we are of time. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. It has definitely been my honor and my pleasure. Peace.
Gratitude, HP. Excellent. Definitely answers the question. Definitely gave us what we need to answer the question. Help us, as you say, stand beyond time so we can master it. Gratitude, family, for showing up. If y'all like this session, which I know you did, it was amazing. Go ahead and like. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Share this with like-minded individuals and have an amazing heptad. We're going to do it again next Silio, which is Friday. Peace, peace, peace.
Immortal. Yeah. Came out the portal, immortal into a human body. I've been existing way before the earth had Anunnakis. Intergalactical battles, intergalactical travels, infinitely going through stars. The universe will unravel all of its secrets, peep it. I'm starting to leak it. Time for truth is coming 100, it's time to seek it. Expanding my perception through the spectrum of light. I'm going in with spectrum and the shit's out of sight. We indigo children, yeah, we building frequencies through the ceiling. Penetrating through reality, a marvelous feeling. Regardless, we're healing these humans that be claiming we demonic. The resonance goes over their heads, we super cosmic. Your logic is ignorance mixed with fear in your thinking. My pineal gland is flooded, son, that shit don't be blinking. Sinking into your subconscious like a song with no words. The way I come up with these symbols of letters is absurd. Hey yo, my rhymes are like angelic beings. The shit is freeing, so pure that if you were born blind, I'll have you seeing. Breathing in a multi-dimensional light so captivating. Double helix is nonsense, so what I'm activating, feel the power from within, seeping right through my skin. From the earth into my feet as it goes up to my chin. It got me grinning, rotation like spirals, my music spinning. I told you that I don't be playing, still I'm always winning. Fibonacci to the haters, curve them right to the side. They don't understand the energy, it comes from inside. So inside is what I master, used to be a disaster. Now I'm gladly elevating to a whole new chapter. Yeah, I'm giving birth to a whole new style. I incarnated through New York, yeah, I rep Long Island. Don't get it twisted though, I'm truly repping this earth. I came to free all these humans and show you all what you're worth. Immortal. Yeah, raising your frequencies one soul at a time. As I pass this mic to my boy Spectrum, yo Spectrum, light that up, kid.
They tried to tell me I'm mortal, I told them I was immortal. They asked me what makes me different, I asked them what makes you normal. I just followed my morals and I unfollowed the formal. Hopped on a track with crews, now we straight cruising through portals. I download the Metatron, I'm reversing it till I'm dead and gone. If you think I'm dope, then you said it wrong. Not trying to flex, but I'm hella strong. Mine did things you never seen. When I say mine, you know what I mean. I'm the most when I'm in my mode, and y'all average is like the mean. I really didn't mean to go intervene. I'm the middleman chilling in between. You should do the math, we ain't keeping score. But I just hit a 3.14. I cook it up, make it look easy as pie. I'm moving in silence and seeing the sign. I am the G. If you remove me, all you gon' see is your sins. This is a big game of six. The simulation is breaking again. I'm taking control, creating my soul. And if the truth fits, I'm breaking it in. Breaking it. All I really know is that I'll never know. I've been here for forever, don't know when to go. I think that indicates that I'm an indigo. In that case, I'm in the go. Green light, my heart, chakra booming. Solar plexus, Lexus zooming. You assuming that I'm human. I'm just being what you doing. I've been teaching teachers frequently. It's apparent I'm a parent when it comes to raising frequencies. The way I'm living life, I haven't rest in peace recently. Immortal with my technique, but my ego dying easily. Death is teasing me by leaving me with DMT. Now it seems to me that everything I see is seeing me. Life is just an infinite circle with a twist. I used to wanna be like them, now they do not exist.
Immortal.